Yo, this is the state of emergency. Check. I need all my Knicks fans right now to grab your jerseys, your popcorn, your sodas, whatever you gotta do to get ready for this game. I don't care if you're a cheerleader, an athlete, a couch potato. We're here to restore the feeling. Matter of fact, can you say it from New York what I say from New York? Hey, yo, let's go now.
Hey, yo, I bring that New York energy. Talking 42nd Street, alley hoop finger roll. Ain't nobody checking me. Crossover through the legs, step back, hit it three. Still up in the hood, but got big baller tendencies. She just trying to get flued out to John Kennedy just to see the Knicks play, make a couple memories. New York, if you ain't from here, don't pretend to be. And if you ain't rocking with the Knicks, you an enemy. Yeah, look at us, whole city is wild. This is New York, why y'all ever counted us out? Any game we attend, yeah, we taking it now. Fast break on the court, all up and down. Lead a garden in the pigsty, yeah, we get it on this side. Bacon, egg, and cheese or the lobster milk with the ribeye. Either way, we winning the overtime if we get tired. Get it with the team, yeah, that's just something we live by. Hey, yo, first quarter in, we gon' turn it up. Gotta warm up first, then we taking it dub. By the third quarter in, no, they ain't catching up. Gotta stay in the lead before that shot clock buzz. If the Knicks get a win, we gon' do it again. Make the finals once before, we gon' do it again. Bounce back in the fourth, we gon' do it again. It's been a while since the chip, but we gon' do it again, yeah.
Yo, put your hands up. If you rockin' with the Knicks, put your hands up. Yo, put your hands up. If you from New York, put your hands up. Yo, look, put your hands up. If you rockin' with the Knicks, put your hands up. Look, put your hands up. Hey, yo, New York City, put your hands up. Sky, baby.
What up? What's going on, everybody out there in our streaming platforms? Welcome to the Church Guys Sports Show podcast, live edition for the 23rd of July. Yeah, July, 23rd of July, 2024. We're here. You're there. Episode 9 of our official podcast, and we're excited. Do me a favor, of course, welcome everyone to the Church Guys Sports Show podcast. So y'all know the rules. I need you to like, share, tag, and comment. Come on, I need everybody to get the algorithm working. I need you to like, share, tag, and comment. If you're on Facebook, we want you to like the post. That's what gets the algorithm going so that it can go out to more people. If you're on YouTube, we want you to click the bell notification and subscribe to the post. Also share it with someone who enjoys sports. If you're on X, glad to have you, glad to see you, and we want you to be a part of the conversation on tonight. A lot of things to talk about tonight here on the Church Guys Sports Show podcast tonight. I'm excited about tonight. I'm excited about all the things that are happening in the world of sports. I'm excited that we got a special guest on tonight. If you were watching last week's extra long show, or if you listen to the podcast. Also, the audio version of the podcast is available at 12 midnight tonight on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on iHeartRadio, on every place podcasts are. You can download it, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to our page here, Church Guys Sports Shows. We continue to expand the platform. A lot of different things to talk about as we welcome in our regular co-host, one of the 3 regular co-hosts, Bishop J. Mack is with us. J. Mack, what's going on tonight, brother?
What's going on, my man? Great to be here. Can't wait to talk some sports.
So we got a lot to unpack tonight, and we got a lot of. I'm trying to see where Keisha's at. She ain't got here yet, but hopefully she'll be on shortly. We got a lot to talk about in terms of some goings on in the summer league and the WNBA and of course the All-Star game that just took place this past weekend, which was tremendous. It was a tremendous All-Star game, which I'll get into and unpack. But before we get into that, we got a special guest with us tonight. If you were watching last week's extra long show, we had my boy in the comments who is a great sports lover like us, another church guy who loves sports because, as Davey Wright would said, hopefully he'll be on. He's saying Bible study right now. He'll be on probably about 8:30. But when David Wright comes on, as he likes to say, church guys love sports too. He is an accomplished gospel artist and musician in his own right, podcast host as well. and again, a lover of all things sports and wrestling. So I want you to give a Church Guy Sports Show welcome to none other than V. George Smith. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, man? Hello, beautiful people. Wonderful to see you this evening.
Good to
Bishop
see
J
you.
Mac, nice to meet you, brother.
Good to
Yes,
see you as
sir.
well.
Pleasure.
Willie Green, what's up? Let's get that algorithm working. What's going on, my brother? Willie, what's going on? Good to see you. Again, y'all like, y'all share, y'all tag, y'all comment. I know it's the middle of July. Some of y'all out doing other things, but, tune into the Church Guy Sports Show podcast like you do every week. Let's get this thing rolling. So, George, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is V. George Smith. I am from New Haven, Connecticut. I am a slightly retired gospel artist.
You're a musician.
No,
you never
but
retire. There's no such thing.
We're putting
I
out
didn't
new
want to
music.
say it.
But no, we just put out a new single this year called Billboard, so check that out if you can. But right now, I'm just like enjoying and loving the podcasting life. We got the Hello Beautiful People podcast. That's every week. That's just life matters. Mostly music though. Mostly music discussions.
Oh,
And
Lord,
the
my little brother's yelling at me. Go.
There we go.
Corey.
That's my guy.
That's my little brother / nephew, Corey Hollywood Reed. That's family right there. Corey, I love you.
He was super jealous.
You are welcome to come on this show anytime, Corey. You're family. You my family. You are literally my family. You can come on this podcast. You just gotta let me know when you want to. Whenever you're available on a Tuesday night, you let me know. You can be on here because, again, Corey's another one who loves all things sports and wrestling as well. So with Corey, I'd love to have you. I'd love to have you and George on here together. That would be a lot of fun. So we're going to have to plan that and make that happen. But stay tuned tonight as we welcome in she used to be a special guest, but now she's a regular host. Keisha Carter is in the building.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Oh, y'all got George.
How you doing, Keisha?
What? I like this setup. Yeah.
What's going on?
I like this.
We brought George on just for you because y'all was acting up last week.
I like this.
You and George was acting up last week.
I like this, George. I like this setup.
I'm going to let y'all know tonight is probably going to be me and J Mac against Keisha and George all night.
Oh, come on now. Don't make the rules
Most
before we get
likely.
started, man.
Most likely.
No. I'm kidding. Oh, wow. So Corey says George don't got enough for both of us. To be
I'm definitely the one that's not sharing with nobody because Corey has none. So
I know Corey is not saved. For both of his parents, God bless their souls, to have been great man and woman of God. He has no oil. Yes, I agree.
He openly admitted it to be Jonah on his last podcast. He said, "I am Jonah." I was just bro, you don't admit that kind of stuff. Like that's
not calling out
Corey.
Jonah.
See, Keisha, you don't know Corey. You got to meet Corey.
If you know Corey, you would get it.
Right. You would understand. If you knew Corey,
that boy is running. You hear me?
Running for his life, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. But so excited to have you on here. Davey is in Bible study. Butler is up in Connecticut himself, teaching bishopric catechisms and stuff and doing his Episcopal thing. He always got something to do on a Tuesday night. Now, mind you, he was one of the spearheads of putting this podcast together, and we can't never find him on a Tuesday these days.
And have the nerve to send us what we should be talking about today.
Right, because when we were talking about doing show prep, trying to decide what the topics would be for tonight, he's putting in ideas, and I'm sitting there reading his comment. You're not even going to be there, son. Like, what are we doing here? You're not even going to be there. But we're glad to have you all. Again, like, share, tag, comment, tag a church guy or a church girl who loves sports, and let them join this podcast as we get into tonight. So let's just dive right into it. The Summer League ended on yesterday with the Summer League championship game, which is interesting. I don't know why the Summer League would have a championship game. when I mean you got every team plays 4 games. They basically use the same kind of scoring system that they use during the. I'm sorry, it's now called the Emirates NBA Cup. It's not just the in-season tournament anymore. It's now called the Emirates NBA Cup.
That's
But
right.
they use the same.
Not too much on that.
I don't have nothing.
Defending champs over here.
I don't have no be. No, let me be clear on that, George. I'm good. I'm good with the idea of the NBA.
Did he
Cup.
say defending champs?
Defending.
Oh, no.
He's a Laker fan.
It's gonna be a long night.
George is a Laker fan. J Mac.
Inaugural defending champs at that.
And hold the goggles, please.
Inaugural.
Listen,
inaugural defending champions.
Listen, I played 2K and I won the NBA Cup in 2K and there wasn't no celebration.
No banners, no confetti.
They did nothing in the video game. So that tells you what 2K Sports thinks about the NBA Cup.
That's all right.
Yeah, Willie. Yeah, that's a Laker fan as well. Oh God, I'm surrounded by Laker. We surrounded by
Let's
Laker
go.
fans tonight, J Mac.
Let's go.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have wore this purple tonight. I don't know what I was thinking.
Laker fans
you was moving with the spirit.
Well, it's 2 Laker fans.
Spirit.
Willie is a Laker fan. George is a Laker fan. Keisha is a LeBron fan. So let's just call it what it is here.
Yes, that is true.
Keisha is a closeted Knicks fan, still masquerading as a Miami Heat fan, but she's a lover of all things LeBron. So
George,
I guess that gets her over.
I can't wait till we talk about him tonight. Ooh, I can't wait.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
They're trying to pull me over.
We don't have to try. You post more Knicks stuff in our chat than we do.
True, dude.
So there you go. So
you don't even talk about the Lakers. You don't even mention them.
Right. She don't even talk about the Heat, and she's allegedly a Heat fan.
Arguing.
But again, the summer league ended with its championship game yesterday. It actually was a pretty good game. Actually, it was actually a pretty good game. They're going down to the wire. But what do we think of the summer league?
Who won?
Your team.
You see it?
That's why she did it. I wasn't going to answer her. That I knew what she was doing. That's why I wasn't going to answer her. The Miami Heat won.
Well, that's the closest they get into the championship.
They won the summer league championship.
Wow.
Shots fired.
Bishop.
Shots fired.
We're going there. I was ready for it.
Okay, well, am I wrong?
We're working. Okay?
Okay.
Rebuilding.
Okay. Y'all got Scary Terry, so.
Wow.
Got Terry Rozier, so.
The Miami Heat won the summer league championship on yesterday. Great game. It went down to the wire. I mean, as great as a summer league game can be. Let's be honest about what the summer league is, but it was fun to watch. It's always fun to watch young players who have something to prove, and the ones who were drafted, players who have even more to prove, and the ones who were not drafted, who are playing for contracts, players who are on 2-way deals, players who are trying to play their way back into the NBA. So that's always fun to watch, at least for me. It's one of the things I enjoy about watching the summer league, because those guys go out there and they play hard.
And players who are the only signed 55th pick to a contract.
We weren't. He was not in the list of things to talk about tonight. George to put his head down already.
Don't get me started.
I'm not going to bring up. I'm not going to bring up that he's averaged 13 a game since y'all last show. But continue. I'm not going to bring that up.
If you held out one of the last games.
I'm not going to bring that up. That's my point. Like, I'm not going to bring it up.
Well, I'm not going to bring up that they held them out the last game of the summer league.
A lot of people got held out of the last game. Like even the Knicks' last game of summer league, they only played Tyler Kolek, who was pretty much going to be our backup point guard. They only played him in the first half. He didn't play the entire second half. I love what I saw.
That Kolek kid.
Yeah, he's serious. He's serious.
He's going to be good. Good backup.
He is NBA ready. And we don't get to say that about a lot of kids coming out of college, but I watched this kid this summer. He is absolutely NBA ready. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Knicks fan. I'm watching him like, oh, you're making decisions like you've been doing this a long time.
The passes that he's making out of the pick and roll foul line extended, man. I mean, you would think that he's been in the league already.
Yeah.
I mean,
The way he's playing, right?
He's diamond, man. I mean, he's diamond. I mean, it's crazy.
He arguably could be the steal of the draft, being that he was taken in the second round. Another lefty to add to the Knicks lefty contingent of players that they have. Knicks have like 9,000 lefties. Is the most ridiculous thing I've
never seen anything like it.
Right. So he's another lefty. Willie Green says Scottie Pippen Jr. getting a contract from somebody. Yeah, he played well. Scottie Pippen Jr. did play well, and I wanted to talk about that. Of the players that you saw, I know Keisha in our group was highlighting a bunch of players who weren't necessarily playing well because she kept thinking that we were comparing everybody to Bronny. But who do you think are some of for those of you who watched a few games, who do you think are some of the sleepers from this year's summer league, as far as players who could make some noise this coming October when the season gets started? We know Tyler Kolek is definitely.
I was going to say him.
Tyler Kolek is definitely a problem. I agree with Willie. I think Scottie Pippen Jr. Is ready to take the leap. I don't know. The thing that scares me with Scottie Pippen Jr. is he's kind of undersized for the type of game that he plays. So I worry about that. I worry about that with Scottie Pippen Jr. But I mean, if anybody could do something with him, it would be Spoelstra and the Miami Heat. Quite honestly,
I think he did all right at the last game. He did okay to me. I don't think he's like you said, maybe Orlando will probably be a good fit for him, maybe. But
wait, he's in Miami now?
No,
I thought he was in Memphis.
He was in Memphis.
Memphis.
Okay.
And Memphis played yesterday. They played against each other yesterday. So he's on Memphis. So he played Miami. So I think he did okay. To me, he did all right.
He logged some minutes. He logged some minutes during the regular season last year too. He did pretty well.
He did.
Like they held him out. Just I guess if he played too many minutes, it would have been like contract concerns, and they would have had to pay him
with the two-way
deal.
Yeah.
Right. So like when he did get in for the big boy minutes, he was doing real well. So I believe in that kid.
I agree, Willie. The Brooklyn Nets definitely need a point guard. Jalen Wilson, actually, of the Brooklyn Nets, won the Summer League MVP award. So that was a good thing for Brooklyn, although the team didn't necessarily fare well. Jalen Wilson was very good for Brooklyn during the course of the Summer League. So, another Summer League is in the books. We got to see some good things from some of the draft picks. One of my biggest takeaway for everybody across the board is those, and I'm not leaving the 55th pick out of this. It's not even about him. This is not. I'm purposely not bringing him up because I'm not trying to have y'all hijack the show again. Now, not bringing up the 55th pick, just dealing with the lottery picks. There are a lot of kids who are really just not NBA ready.
No.
Right.
They are just not. And you said that was on display during the Summer League. This is the first time in a long time where I looked at the 1 through 14 of the guys who were drafted 1 through 14, which is technically the lottery, because I don't really consider a 14th pick a lottery pick, but technically it is. 1 through 14, they don't look ready at all.
Right.
At all. What do you guys think about that?
I agree, especially the kid from Washington. He's been a big. I think he's been a big disappointment. I thought he would definitely play better. I thought he would, be more loose, especially with that team. But he just has not panned out. But I'm singling him out, of course. But I'm with you. There's been nobody in the top 14 that stood out. But we all said it's a weak. This is the weakest draft.
This is the weakest draft in a long time.
Yeah, that we've had for the NBA in a long time. It's a weak draft. So, to find someone in the second round wasn't out of the realm of possibility this year because the first round was so weak. So
honestly, the second round picks
was stronger.
They outplayed the first round picks.
I was gonna say, the second round picks was mostly the ones who was playing last night on Miami.
Yeah.
Those were the second round picks. So yeah, they did way better than that number 2 pick on first round.
But Willie Green believes that Alex Sarr will be the rookie of the year. That's a sleeper pick. We'll see what happens.
His defensive presence
Yeah.
is going to be something, but he has no bag offensively.
No,
Like
and he's already in. You can see he's inconsistent.
Right.
That,
So I mean, I knew the draft was bad because the Pelicans had our pick for this year,
yep.
and it would have been able to be swapped for next year. So if they could have picked this year and let us pick next year. When they gave us the pick for this year, I was like, okay,
they don't value anything in this draft. Exactly.
The draft is trash. I mean, but luckily, we got the old man connect that nobody wanted to draft since he's 38 already coming out of school. But I'll take it.
Listen, Connect played well, but there's something to be said.
I like him.
And I want to bring up this point. I think we're reaching a point in terms of basketball players, especially now, where obviously for those of us who are a little older, that we remember the days where guys played 3-4 years in college before they came out. There were aberrations. Kevin Garnett was an aberration. Kobe Bryant was an aberration. There were certain people that were aberrations. Even LeBron James was, to a degree, an aberration in that he was the last one to take the leap from high school. But there's something to be said to a player that actually goes to college and spends 3 years developing his body and learning how to play against bigger, stronger talent over the course of several years, as opposed to trying to make the leap as an 18 or 19-year-old who hasn't filled out their body yet, who hasn't gotten to a point yet to where they're even strong enough, or even, again, fundamentals have gone out the window. Let's be honest. In the American game, and we'll talk more about that with Team USA struggles, but fundamentals have gone out the window. And there is something to be said for that. I think we might see a return to college, agents now encouraging guys to stay at least through their sophomore year. Get some bulk on you, get some size. And because you being a lottery pick and being a project, that's bad for teams, especially teams that get into the lottery, because you're hoping that you're going to have a difference maker that's going to be able to come in and help you turn things around quickly. And for the last couple of years, there really haven't been any lottery picks that have come in and made significant immediate impacts.
Yeah, I mean, other than Wembanyama last year in the draft, I mean, you can't really recall anybody that's really made an immediate impact in the NBA draft. And they've been talking that the game is going to end up starting to change back. We're going to start to see the emergence of the big man again, the center, because of the lack of basically what they're doing. And you can correct me. I think the NBA is trying to hit the reset button. I really do. I think they realize, hey, we got to have some type of form of defense. Yes, it's great to put the numbers up, but I think we went too far right on just worried about scoring. And they're even talking about bringing back hand checking to a certain degree. So I think the NBA is.
Oh, you saw that already in the playoffs this year. You saw that in the playoffs.
Yes, exactly. And I think the NBA is trying to hit the reset button because right now, yes, we are getting the scoring, we're getting the up and down, but you got to have defense. There are times in the game you need to stop. You got to have defense. You can't just throw defense away.
No. And Willie Green says, give college basketball a moment of silence. It's over. Your impact players are coming from across the Atlantic. I mean, that's true to a certain degree.
Because of what you said, though. Because of the lack of fundamentals. That's why.
And Wemby is an aberration in that he's a young player, but he's been playing professionally since he was 14 years old.
Exactly.
Right.
It's a little different. He's been playing with grown men since he was 14. You don't see that over here in the States in terms of that. Obviously, our AAU programs are, there's at most a 2 to 3 year age difference between players. So you've got the 18 and under, yes, but the youngest person on the 18 and under is usually a 16-year-old.
And everybody wants to be a stretch now. We want to be stretch 4s and 5s. No. We need you to be able to hit a mid-range jumper. We need you to be able to go in and get an offensive rebound. You know, everybody wants to park out. You know, we come from an era, fast break, we trying to get to the cup. Now the fast break, everybody's darting to the three. You know, it's just a different game. And again, I think the NBA is trying to the NBA is trying to reset. What did you say?
It's all Steph Curry's fault.
I highly agree.
I didn't want to say it.
It's all Steph
I really agree.
I didn't want to say
Steph
it.
made it look great, man.
He did.
Everybody
made it look great.
He made it look so smooth and easy. It was like smooth.
I didn't want to say it. But everybody wants to. I'll say it like this: everybody thinks they're Steph Curry. I won't say he ruined it. Everybody thinks they're Steph Curry. Everybody wants to be a stretch, shoot from 30 feet out. You know, shooting just past half court. You know, everybody's doing that now, and you know. But I think we're returning to a game now where you're going to have to really play defense honestly. I think you're going to have to get the mid-range jumper. You're going to have people dive into the cup more. Again, the big man, they're talking about the big man coming back. I think we're going to start to see the game go back and somewhat back to what we are a traditional two forwards, center, shooting guard, point guard. I think we're going to get back to that.
Steph Curry and David Fizdale ruined the NBA.
It kind of depends on the quality of the athlete, though. Like,
it does. I agree.
Like, if they're coming in like bad body Jokic, then of course they're gonna have to bang and grab boards and put it back up. But if you get somebody like Anthony Edwards, like, and that's from the United States, like, that's just crazy. All he has to do is develop a consistent 3-point shot, keep his mouth shut, kind of calm down because he's young. You know, he came out of that series saying, "I got Kyrie." Like,
just not talking too much.
Not smart. You're not smart.
We can't blame that on him for saying that.
Yes, you can.
No, because he's young.
We tried telling you this, and now you hear. We tried telling you this.
But who's his old head in that locker room that could really sit him down and talk to him?
Nobody.
But look what the media did to him.
It ain't Cat.
Michael Jordan Jr. Come on now.
But that the media kind of, there's a part of the media that has this, because people in their 40s, let's just be honest, we have a tendency to romanticize the greatest decade ever, the 90s. And we try to make it seem like everything that happened in that decade is the greatest of all time. And nothing was better. Now, a lot of things were great. The music was better.
There was some bad basketball in the 90s too, though. And
that's what I was about. That's what I was getting at.
And I'm a proponent of 90s basketball. There was some bad basketball in the 90s.
Because, man, it was not fun sitting through a 74-67 game. That wasn't fun, bro. No. I like what I'm seeing now. I like to see everything advancing.
And Pat Riley for that.
Listen, the Knicks couldn't score 100 points if they were in the gym by themselves. That's what Barkley used to say. Barkley used to say that in the 90s about the 90s.
It was Patrick Ewing and a collection of Safeway baggers.
That's it.
But no, it gets worse. Like, people like Greg Ostertag wouldn't be able to be the 17th person on the roster in 2024.
Big country, don't forget him.
Well, they wouldn't find no roster. Nah, man, don't tell me it was better just because they used to bludgeon each other. Like, don't do that.
Well, but I will say this: stuff that like little things, like these 3-step back threes.
The travel,
the
travel 3-point shot.
Yeah, the travel three. Where Halliburton.
Tyrese Halliburton stepped back. That dude jogs backwards for 5 minutes and then shoots. I'm like, how many steps y'all gonna get this guy?
I was watching a '90s game the other night, and it was a clip. It was clips of Latrell Sprewell, and he was taking step back jumpers. And I said, now that's what a real step, exactly. I said, now that's what a real step back jumper, for what I know, is supposed to be.
than the confines of the rules that we were brought up under. Because you've also got to remember the NBA rule book is different than the rule book that we had in high school and AAU. Because, you know, there were, when I was coming up, there was no such thing as a gather step.
I was just about to ask you, did you ever hear about a gather step when
What
you was,
video?
when you was playing?
What Bishop, what video did I post it? And remember somebody asked, it was like, isn't that a walk? And they was like, no, that's a gather step. That was
you showed Bryce James when he hopped and gathered. He
hopped over, yes.
And did the 2 steps to the basket.
Yeah.
And I echoed with you. I said, no, they called that the gather step now.
Right.
You're gonna see a lot of travels.
That was a jump stop. And then you didn't get any more steps after that. You either shot or passed.
And it was a whistle going the other way. That's what it was.
You either shot the ball after the jump stop or you passed it. But you didn't get 2 more steps. Now it's a gap.
You're gonna see a lot of travels at the Olympics. A lot.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of travel calls at the Olympics.
European rules, because the NBA has adopted these European rules. And again, I did agree that the game needed to open up, because like I agree with you, George. 90s basketball there were some games that were just absolutely ugly. I love the strategy. Like I loved watching Bulls Knicks. I loved watching Knicks Pacers. I love watching
Knicks
Heat. Because I mean those games were wars of attrition with great coaches and great defense. And for all of the physicality, nobody really got bludgeoned to death in those games. Those were just really good defensive teams that knew how to stop each other, because they played against each other so much. They were just used to, being able to guard each other. And I appreciated that. But then there were the games where I recall there was one game in the 90s that ended like 68-62. I'm trying to remember who played that game. And they were like, oh, this is the lowest scoring game in like 40 years. And I'm like, this is not good. And it wasn't because the defense was great. It wasn't because the coaching was phenomenal. It was because there were 2 bad shooting teams. and that's just absolutely not okay. Ray Monroe, what's going on?
The funny thing is that I remember when D'Antoni was here in New York. And if you look at what's happening now, it's really the offense that D'Antoni was trying to implement. More volume threes, running up and down the court.
7 seconds or less.
Yes. And that's the Indiana Pacers offense right now.
That's Rick, which again, kudos to Rick Carlisle, because he was a defensive-minded coach who adapted to the players that he had this year. And it was great.
And it's so crazy that when he was trying to do it, he got kicked out of New York for wanting to do that. And now you see the pick and roll. Every team has adapted the pick and roll. Every team runs their offense through the pick and roll. Every team. Going back to what you guys are talking about, also they got rid of illegal defense. They got rid of that, and they got rid of not being able to play zone. You couldn't do any of that in the 90s. You couldn't play zone in the 90s. It was considered illegal defense, because again, now the game is opened up. That's why when people try to compare errors, I'm like, okay, well, what rules are we playing by? Are we playing by 90s rules, or are we playing by today's rules? Because in the 90s, you couldn't play zone defense.
And that was one of the big things for opening things up as well, I think, because when you allow teams in the NBA to be able to play zone, you've now forced teams to now start having guys become better shooters. Guys had to become better shooters, because there's no more getting to the cup anymore, especially if you've got good interior defense. If there's an elite zone in Minnesota and I've got Rudy Gobert waiting for me at the rim, who's getting to the basket? So you got to shoot.
Sidebar. I want to introduce this idea to you guys, and you let me know if this is something that y'all jive with. Okay. I really feel like me and my guys on my sports show, we decided that the NBA needs to take the Defensive Player of the Year award and switch it somewhat. There needs to be a Best Rim Protector award and then there needs to be a Defensive Player of the Year award. Because Rudy Gobert is not the best defensive player.
Oh,
we
in
clearly
the league.
I'm with you 100% on that. Because Rudy Gobert gets cooked on a regular basis. He has 4 Defensive Player of the Year because he blocks a lot of shots.
There could be a Gary Payton Glove Award for most steals.
They need to have a Dikembe Mutombo block shot award, and Rudy Gobert. You got here you go, Rudy Gobert.
There you go.
That's yours. You're not the Defensive Player of the Year, though. No.
How the heck did he get that? How the heck did he get that?
But he's what, a 2 or 3 time?
4.
He's a
4-time Defensive Player of the Year. Yep.
Yeah.
And
he's a 4-time winner.
4-time defensive. But I mean, you know. I will say I agree with that wholeheartedly.
You got to do that, man.
Because I don't think a rim protector can be Defensive Player of the Year.
Exactly.
I agree with
that. You got Luka coming into the games fresh off 3 beers and some hookah, putting up 35 on you, man. Like, you saw Michael Finley had to take the beer out of his hand. Like, come on, man. Get out of my face with this junk, yo. They was like, yo, they pretty much, the Celtics was like, okay, to beat these dudes, let's make Luka shoot everything.
Yeah, it worked.
That was it.
It worked.
And by the third quarter, he was gassed because he's not in shape.
Not at all. Not at all.
Simple game plan.
And I think Luka did too much during the finals as well. I think he just really tried to do too much, and he shot Dallas out of a lot of those games. And I totally agree with you wholeheartedly.
Kyrie didn't show up either.
Okay. Kyrie got to apologize to somebody. I saw him singing. I saw him singing Travis Green the other day.
I saw that video.
Come on home, brother. I'm not trying to hate on nobody's churches, but 600 Jones Hill Road in West Haven, Connecticut. You can bring the tires to the storage house over here.
As long as you let him bring his sage, he'll be here. Let him burn his. As long as you let him burn his sage.
We got room for him to sage.
Let him burn his sage. He'll be all right.
But what's that for, though? That's a Kyrie sage room.
Right. That's for Kyrie. You can't go. That's for Kyrie.
Imagine me trying to convince my 79-year-old Jamaican mother that somebody is burning something and she would kill me twice.
This is what I'm
about to say. You're going to die, George. You're going to die.
Twice.
You asked me for it at that point. But this conversation is a perfect segue into our next topic, which has to do with the Olympics, which are coming up beginning next week. The end of this week, next week. The Olympic Games will begin in Paris. I don't really care about too much outside of track and field and basketball, but that's just me. And from the basketball standpoint, the men's Olympic team, they scare me. they scare me.
Oh, LeBron's going to be the first men's basketball player to be the flag.
Did you hear it?
For the entire country. So
I was going to bring it. I was going to bring it up.
Another first for Captain. Another first for Captain America.
I saw it. Yeah.
It is
that's the kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that goes
camera, Keisha. It's an amazing honor. Kudos to Rich Paul and whoever else made that happen.
Come on, man. Wait a minute. What's going on?
She went to go get the jersey. She went to go get her jersey. Okay, that's what it was. She went to go get.
He was nominated by Steph. That was Steph nominated him.
Okay. Kudos to Rich Paul and whoever else made that happen.
Nominated. Come on, man.
And Adam Silver.
Listen, he's a global ambassador who is at the end of his career.
He's the spokesman of the league.
Why you gotta put that in there?
And it's all about his legacy. Listen, there is no hate here
end of
at
his
all.
Career. What?
He is at the end of his career, 39. Yo, you and Braun are the same age.
He's closer to the end than he is the beginning.
Yeah,
no, he didn't.
That wasn't right, D-Lo.
Braun,
I thought you snuck that in there.
Braun is 64 in regular person years. He is close to the age of retirement. In regular career years, Bron is about to collect this pension.
He's still
Let's
a young
call it
man.
what it is.
He's
Actually a young man, but in basketball years, it's almost over.
Yeah, the tread is coming off the tire.
Yeah, it is.
Putting the whole country on his back still, but it's
for 2 games. George, did you see him for 2 games?
I mean, you saw. I mean, I saw
aside,
it.
He was the clutch.
It was game time.
Aside from the heroics at the end of those games,
Bishop McCann is not liking it.
Steve Kerr did go. Steve Kerr went to him at the end of those games. Here's my problem, though. My problem is not even with Steve Kerr going to him. My problem is why did LeBron have to bail out America? Why is this team? And the funny thing is, when they were putting the team together, they wanted to compare them to 92. That comparison goes out the window.
When you lose,
we're moving. All right, time out. KD's still not playing.
True.
Number one. Number two. When the 92 team, I have nothing but respect for that dream team. But when the 92 dream team was playing their preliminaries, they played 0 people that were playing in the NBA. They weren't playing against NBA pros. They were playing against countries that were in awe, like taking pictures with them after the game and all that stuff, just happy to be there.
All true.
These guys are playing with dudes that they share locker rooms with. These dudes, I know they was like they were trying to make a big deal about the South Sudan. Ain't none of them dudes from South Sudan. Them dudes from Tennessee, Texas, all this other stuff. These dudes that are playing in the league.
They have Sudanese heritage.
There's gonna be a lot of people. There's gonna be a lot of people that didn't make the team are just gonna show up. Like I saw, what's dude's name?
Schroeder.
Hollis Jefferson playing for some random country, looking like Kobe Jordan Mello, going crazy, like 30 a game. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what country you from?
But Colin Cowherd, I don't mean to bring up names.
It's okay.
He said that that they would beat the 92 team. Now, let me just say this. I hear what you're saying about I agree that the gap has
closed. Gap is closed. The gap is closed. Absolutely. The gap is closed.
I agree. But if we gotta wait for KD to come back for this team to be something, then we in trouble. Because you're
literally saying can't even get off the bench now.
But you're literally saying that's like saying take Barkley off the 92 team, who led the team in score. Because if KD was there, he'd be leading the team in scoring. He's by far the best part of USA basketball for the past couple years.
Okay.
It hasn't been LeBron because LeBron hasn't been there. Steph hasn't been there. It has been KD.
Correct.
I get that.
He's super vital to their success. Success.
But again, we got Anthony Davis. We got Joel Embiid. We got Anthony Edwards.
Joel has never played international.
I'm running it down. We got LeBron James.
And Curry.
We got Devin Booker. We got Steph Curry. You gonna tell me that missing KD is the difference between winning and losing for Team USA? I just need to hear you say that.
Winning and losing? No, not winning and losing. I believe that one of the reasons why we're not, and we cannot dominate the way the 92 team did is because of the NBA experience on the other side of the ball. It's the lack of fear because they've seen these guys, they've shared locker rooms with them, jerseys with them, won championships with them. They're not afraid of these dudes. They've seen them before. Thirdly, the 3-ball. It's the great equalizer, but it will kill you. The only reason why I didn't see the Germany game in totality.
America's not been. They haven't been hitting the threes lately.
They haven't been hitting. Steph hasn't been showing up to hitting. But the Sudan kid, there was one kid from Sudan with a headband on. you'd have thought he was dark-skinned Klay Thompson. He couldn't miss. So
that was the 17-year-old kid.
You know what I'm going to say too?
He's going to Duke.
It's the fault of the media for making those comparisons. It's not fair to make those comparisons because just like we were saying earlier, in a vacuum, you really can't just say, well, put this against this and then this would happen. We don't know because, again, the rules and all of that other stuff that was brought up before. So I love this team.
Who's the table setter for Team USA? See, that's the thing. We don't have a real. I mean, you want to say Braun? I don't think that's Braun's role on this team to be the table setter. I don't think that's his role. We needed a true point guard. I just put up in the group that Tyrese Halliburton didn't even play last game.
Yeah, he was benched against Germany.
He's struggling. He's struggling.
Right. And he's supposed to be the point guard.
He's inconsistent.
He's supposed to be the point guard.
I feel like you're getting enough from Drew and Steph.
Yeah.
If you're getting enough from Drew and Steph and LeBron can run point, like, Tyrese is going to have to play eventually.
They needed a point guard like Jalen Brunson on here who going to set the table and can get his shot at the same time. They needed that. I know you're going to put your head down, but Tyrese Halliburton is benched right now. He's not even playing.
Tyrese got to
playing for 5 or 10 minutes.
No, he didn't even play he didn't play the whole game in Germany. He got no minutes.
Y'all already got Tyrese playing for free in MSG. Y'all want him to play for free in France too? Come on, man. What we don't they let him go.
But I want to make a point though. Stephen A made a big point today, and when I was watching First Take, he talked about the team that they just played, right? What's his called there? He was mentioning that they do not play on a real basketball court.
That's South Sudan.
That's South Sudan.
Yeah, Sudan. That's what I'm saying. He was making a point that
South Sudan. You have to distinguish.
South Sudan, yeah.
There's two separate countries. There's Sudan and then there's South Sudan, a country that that country's only 13 years old. They just won their independence from Sudan.
Yeah,
everything Stephen A said about that team was 13 years ago.
13 years ago, yep.
Yeah.
But everything Stephen A said about that team was completely false. And Windhorst corrected him, and he just repeated it. Like, he's talking about the country and their independence, but Windhorst is trying to tell him, like, they're not actually, like, born and raised in Sudan. Like, these guys are from America with, like, one distant aunt that might be from here, and they all, like, between, I forgot, Luol Deng and the coach.
And he's building them
Royal Ivy.
They build the team together like that. So
yeah, he's building them
indoor
court too. Luol Deng. He's building them a court.
But
Stephen A, you got to take him in doses. Like, he really don't be nobody talking about.
I don't really pay attention to Stephen A too much, but I mean, I went and looked at the South Sudanese roster myself after watching that on First Take myself, and looking at these players. These are quality basketball players. I will not discount their ability. These are quality basketball players. But my caveat to that is they are not NBA superstar level players. But they are a better team because there are defined roles for each of those players on this team. This is a group of guys who, again, Luol Deng didn't just pull them together yesterday. They've been playing together for the last couple of years to get ready for these Olympics. They had to qualify last year by winning, by placing in the World Championships last year. So it was the FIBA Cup, World Cup. So, you know, that for me, that's the biggest difference. Because while the talent gap has gotten smaller, that's true. What the Americans are not doing, what the American men are not doing what the American women do. The American women, their basketball team, their leader of basketball operations puts the team together 4 years in advance, and they start working out every year together. They're already spending time together during their off season. They decided to throw this team together at the end of last NBA season, knowing nobody was going to be able to get together until Vegas 3 weeks ago. That's not if you want to be taken seriously on the world stage, you've got to. We would have been better off sending last year's FIBA World Cup team. We'd have been better off just sending the same team.
The 92 team, that's the thing about that 92 team. The 92 team, they had defined roles on that team.
Right.
You know, that.
But again, that's a
team.
testament to Chuck Daly as a coach.
You would think Jordan was the lead. Jordan wasn't even the leading scorer on that team. It was Charles Barkley.
It was Barkley, right?
Led them in scoring because they had he went to Barkley and told him, "I need you to play like the second best player in the league."
Not for nothing, Jordan and Pippen were wingstop on that team. They were shutting down everybody else. They were the defensive stalwarts on that 92 team.
That's right. And they let Barkley eat. They let Barkley go ahead and be the leading scorer and be the enforcer at the same time.
Patrick Ewing and David Robinson, rim protectors and rebounders. That was their job.
Patrick Ewing didn't ever have a 10-point game in that. I don't even think Ewing scored 10 points in any game. I think he might have scored 6 or 8, maybe 10. You know, these guys, David Robinson, Drexler, these guys had defined roles on the team.
No egos on that team.
I was just
Corey might be mad at me, but
go ahead.
Corey might be mad at me, but this speaks to Steve Kerr as a coach.
Yes.
And George, a few.
Absolutely.
In fact, during the NBA playoffs, when we were doing our Knicks post game shows, and we were talking, I was talking about Steve Kerr, and one of the things I said about what has happened to Golden State over the last couple of years, I asked the question, and we debated it for a little while. Did we prematurely anoint Steve Kerr as a Hall of Fame coach, or is his coaching or his success a product of a system that was built by Mark Jackson that inherited a bunch of guys who were budding into NBA superstardom and then inherited Kevin Durant in the middle of his prime?
Yes.
Bishop, what do I always say? What do I?
Yes.
Listen,
Bishop
it happens in every sport, though. You can say the same thing. We could look at the Patriots and say, hey, is Belichick really a Hall of Fame coach, or was it Tom Brady?
Corey said yes. Next question.
See, told you.
Nah, Corey, we're gonna talk about this because this is facts.
I have to at least consider what you're saying about Steve Kerr. I do.
This is facts.
A Hall of Fame coach would have said, I don't care about your egos. I don't care if you don't get
Chuck Daly in 92.
Yes. He would have
92.
came in there and laid down the law. This is how we're going to do it. This is my system. This is how we're going to win.
After one game, he says, I'm not sure about what I'm doing, but Steph, LeBron, and Embiid are in my starting rotation. Like, what? In spite of everything? Like, no matter what you see on the court, those three are in? 60% of the starting lineup is done in spite of whatever you see. All right.
What did I say today?
Come on, man.
I said, he's going to put Curry in every single time.
And that's why I said they don't have a true point guard, because Curry is not going to function as the point guard on his team. He's going to function as the shooting guard. He's going to function as a scorer, more of a scorer. That's what he's going to be. And that's why I said they need a coach on the floor.
I've always viewed Curry as an undersized two anyway.
Yeah, I never viewed him as a point guard. I know that people classify him as that, but to me, he's a shooting guard.
He can run point in the pinch.
He can
run it. But
he's more so a shooting guard.
It's like Deuce McBride on the Knicks. Deuce McBride is not a point guard. Deuce McBride is a two who happens to be able to have some ball handling skills.
Yeah. He and on this team, I'm saying, on this team with all of these stars, he's not a point guard on this team. He's a scorer on this team. That's who Curry is on this team. 92
had Magic Johnson. They had John Stockton. They had two guys who could organize the offense, who could put people in the right places, who's going to be that extension of the coach on the court, and they're going to be able to see where the mismatches are and who they can exploit. This team doesn't really have that.
I still say they have that between LeBron and Drew. LeBron and Drew can run a team pretty effectively.
They can. I agree with you. They can run
pretty
it.
effectively.
But is that their role on Team USA?
It's got to be. And Even Devin Booker could run it. Even Devin Booker could run it.
I question Devin Booker's IQ sometimes, though.
Okay, that's fair.
I question his IQ
That's
sometimes.
Fair.
If anything, I'll give you this. Keisha, don't get too excited. If anything, I would make LeBron the point guard.
Right. Just say he's the point.
LeBron, you're running the show. You have the best IQ. You're the best ball handler and the best passer. You can organize the offense. But if you're going to ask, this is the same problem that he had his first few years in Cleveland. You're asking him to do everything. You can't.
And that's why I said on this team, is that his role? That's why I say that, because then you're going to look at, because again, now you're not using Halliburton. So now you might just forget about him. So now you're down one and you don't have Kevin Durant. You're not using Tyrese Halliburton and you don't have KD. So yeah. And now you're asking LeBron. So now LeBron has to win the game, has to run the offense and run the game down the stretch for you.
Every time.
And he got away with it against Sudan, and he got away with it against Germany. But is that going to catch up to us?
Can you do that against Spain?
That's what I'm saying.
Because that Spanish team is a problem every year for America.
When we get to the Olympic trials,
because of the 15 guys on Spain's team, 9 of them are in the NBA.
9 of them in the NBA.
Can you do that against Canada? Their entire team's in the NBA.
Ain't RJ Barrett on that team?
Yes, SGA's on that team. SGA, RJ Barrett, Dylan Brooks.
Okay, a lot of them are on the team.
And Dylan Brooks is a defensive stopper.
That whole Canadian team's in the NBA.
And that Canada team gave USA problems.
Yes, they beat us. They beat us in the World Cup last year. So, I mean, you've got to define a role there. And again, this whole idea, this one, J-Mac, you and I talk about it all the time. This idea of positionless basketball has to die.
It has to, man.
Guys still need roles.
Key, did you see in the draft some of the players, they didn't even classify them as forwards. They didn't. They classify them as wings.
Do you know what's so crazy? Because I was trying to figure out who played what like positions. I didn't understand nobody's positions during the draft. And I was just
2-3.
So when you guys would talk to me,
2-3 wing.
Wing stop.
The wing.
When you guys would talk to me and say, "Oh yeah, so," I'm like, "Well, what position they play?"
Like, what's a W?
We say wing.
What's a W? Exactly.
What's a W?
We said W, wing.
It's a wing.
This is watching the draft.
I don't want to win. Can I get a leg or a breast?
Yeah.
Watching the draft oh man, look at this young man from Syracuse. They say he's a worshiper as well. That's all right.
He's a worshiper.
My God. That's it, son. Give him
your hands and rebound.
Lift your hands and rebound. That's it. Lift your hands and rebound.
Man,
but David Fizdale wanting to be a mad scientist trying to make basketball positionless. Basketball is, yes, you can have some guys that have multiple skills that players, but they still play. Magic Johnson had multiple skills to play multiple positions. But if you ask everybody, you knew he was a point guard. Now
he won game 7 of the finals at the center position.
I was going to say, could he play center? Yes. Yeah. If need be, but he was a point guard.
Yep.
And it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt in that game 7 that his backup was Norm Nixon. Didn't hurt. Didn't hurt.
That never hurts. Norm was a bucket.
Right.
Norm was a bucket. Norm was a bucket.
So he could move to the 5 because and he didn't try to do point guard things from the 5. He played the 5.
Even though he got down on the block in the post. Did he have like 7 assists?
He did. He did.
He did have 7 assists.
He did. And that's because he was killing the points. They started to double him, so he passed the ball out. So
Magic was special, man.
Magic was absolutely special.
Top 5 for me.
One of mine too.
This is so
Is Magic in
positions
my
are
top
still.
five?
George got.
What he say?
He said, "Is Magic in his top 5?" He's thinking about
Who
it.
is in your top
Magic
five,
gotta
George?
be in your top 5. You a Laker fan.
The only thing I have solidified is the top 3. Everything after that is just like
Okay.
it's a debate for me.
Who's your top 3?
I'm Kareem 3, Jordan 2, LeBron 1.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. Love it.
And it's not.
Come
it's
on,
not.
George.
And it's.
High
And it's
five,
not.
man. High five.
I'm the one. I'm one of those people. She asked. D-Lo,
She did.
Love it.
She absolutely did. She absolutely did.
I'm one of those
bro.
people.
Love it.
I'm never mad at anybody that has Jordan as number 1. I'm not mad at it at all. I get it.
You hear that?
I saw it.
He's not mad at it.
Whatever.
You can't because the way
You hear that, King? He's not mad at it. He's a Laker fan.
I was a Lakers fan, but on my wall was the free throw line dunk. That's the poster that was on my wall.
Michael
Like,
Jordan, absolutely.
he was that dude. I had to see him end us.
Yeah.
Back,
For his first championship.
Magic gave him that work in game 1.
He did.
And then they had to put Pippen on him. But, I mean,
Sam Perkins did him too. Sam Perkins did him in.
Work.
Yeah, Sam Perkins
But-
had, yo,
Big Sam,
the rifle man.
Listen, everybody forgets about the work
rifle
Big Sam
man.
put in game 1. Big Sam
He
put in
did.
that work.
They didn't call him the
But it
rifle man
works.
for nothing.
For real.
Sam
for real.
Perkins could shoot.
So,
Yes, sir.
you can't get mad at nobody because Michael Jordan, and I give my friends a lot of grief over this. And if they're watching this, they're gonna be like, "Wow," they're gonna screen record this. But no, Michael Jordan, the way he changed the game and his effect on so many people, you can't just discredit that.
Absolutely.
No.
But
No.
it's just what I'm seeing now from a dude that's about to be 40. I've never seen before.
So are you giving it to him, number 1, because of his longevity? Longevity has something to do with it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That definitely has something to do with
That's
it.
fair. That's
I can live with
absolutely
that.
I mean,
I can live with that.
go having no summers off for
Can
10
you block
years.
her out, please?
You got
She's just gonna wave that LeBron jersey around. For those of you who are listening to the podcast on the audio only version,
she's waving. She's waving her jersey.
waving her LeBron jersey in the camera.
I gotta ask, how many LeBron jerseys do you have? Do you have every iteration of his
Just
jersey?
about.
Okay, all right.
Look, that's why I don't bother Keisha. She is a legit Bron fan, so I don't give her no grief. I think.
But I love Jordan too. Jordan's number 2 on my list. I got like almost all his sneakers, so Jordan's number 2 on my list. I can't discredit him.
Well, listen, I'm a Nick fan who wears Jordan, so hey.
That's another reason why he's number 1.
I got Magic at 1.
I wish I was so young then.
No, I got Magic at 1.
And that's fair.
Jordan 2.
Jordan changed the game from an intellectual property level as well, because again, we're talking about Nike, who gave him their entire shoe budget when he came into which was unheard of back then. Unheard of.
Listen, and then he helped Barkley. He told Charles, give that money back and get you some shares.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Barkley was going to take the $3 million payout.
Mm-hmm.
He said, no, get you some shares. You know what Barkley said? I'm still eating off Nike today.
And as he should.
Yep.
And you know who else?
And hey, the Barkleys were kind of a cold sneaker too.
Cold.
Those were some cold sneakers.
I always like the
my high school basketball team, we wore Barkleys.
They call them Dennis Rodman's, but they're not. That's the one with the big Nike swoop over the whole.
It was
the black.
Yes.
They were called Air Darwins. Air Darwins.
Yes.
That's what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my joints, and I can't find them anywhere. I would pay for those today.
I'm gonna see if I can find them for you, because I know
I was
some
about to
people.
say, I think I know some people.
I know some people.
The other one, the ones that Alonzo Mourning had, Indestruct. I love those.
Those were cold too.
Nike Indestruct.
So
another reason why you can't hate on Jordan, anytime you could sell something for $100 in '93 and then 30 years later,
Still say the same.
$1,200.
The same
There's something. There's something to you.
Stains, they just change. They simply changed the colorway.
Man, you got people in Generation Z and Generation Alpha who ain't never seen the man play live, waiting on live for his sneaker. Think about that.
Never.
It's
Ain't
funny
never
because
we've seen him play live. These guys ain't never seen him, and they waiting for his sneakers.
right, like your YouTube clips don't do it justice. You gotta go. You gotta watch Jordan play,
and you gotta live it. You gotta live it. We lived in that Jordan era. How he took over society. We lived it.
Those were the times.
I still remember where I was the night he had the double nickel at the Garden when his first comeback.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that too. I wasn't in front of my TV.
I'm still mad about the pass to Bill Wennington to win the game that night because people forget Jordan. He had 55 and passed for the game-winning shot to Bill Wennington.
And Starks was having a great game that night too.
Starks had 38 that night.
When did he get stuck? When did he dunk on Michael though?
That was a playoff game. Yeah, Starks did get him.
Well, the Jordan purists are gonna tell you that Jordan wasn't in the picture. But if you look, you
mean the Jordan psychos,
right? Yeah, that's the Jordan psycho because Jordan is in. If you watch forget about the picture. If you watch the video clip, Jordan is in the air.
He's in the air swiping at the ball,
jumping in
getting dunked on.
Getting both, yep.
And that's why
Jordan got one on his neck.
That's why the next game when they went back to Chicago, I'll never forget, it was Memorial Day. He dropped 55. He dropped like 55 in Chicago Stadium.
Yep. But he needed to drop all 55 because he realized if they would have lost that series, they were going to lose that series.
Mm-hmm.
After that Starks dunk, they were going to lose that series. Jordan had to put that team on his back because the Bulls were done. The Bulls were done after that. And
Scottie Pippen Hart was taken.
Scottie Pippen Hart was always taken.
Always. Still.
Always taken. Scottie was just
man.
For all of his talent. For all of his talent, Scottie just always shrunk in a big moment. Always.
And McDaniel wasn't even on that team. That's the thing. Xavier McDaniel wasn't even on that team.
Right. Charles Smith was on this. Charles Smith had already replaced Xavier McDaniel at that point. And
don't bring up that name, please.
Please don't, because he's from Connecticut. Like
Charles Smith, yep.
I'm not trying to claim. Well, he's from Bridgeport, so that ain't got nothing to do with it.
He don't count.
I'm not claiming nothing in Bridgeport over here. They 20 minutes away.
Only thing we claim in Bridgeport is Bishop Kenny Mose. God rest his soul.
That's it. That's it.
I claim the ferry too. I claim the ferry.
That ferry's pretty good. Yeah.
I love the ferry. But Mohegan Sun, come on here.
Look at Keisha face. What? She's like, the bishop is going to the casino? Yes, the bishop went to the casino.
Well, I know he's traveling because he's going on cruises and stuff.
Lord, don't put his business out here. Keisha, what we doing?
First, your girl over here blowing up.
I like this show. Y'all messy. This.
Yo, George, you have no idea. You have no idea how messy he is. I'm surprised Davey hasn't jumped on here yet, but you have no idea how messy these folks are on this here podcast. Shifting gears to the WNBA celebrated its All-Star weekend, which led into its Olympic break. It is now mid-season for the WNBA and what has been a historic WNBA season. A couple things we got to talk about before we get to the All-Star game. Last week, the WNBA inked a deal with the television networks, their new TV deal, 11 years, $2.2 billion. The Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Rakia Jackson, Camilla Cardosa effect, because I got to give them all props. I got to give them all props. It's not just Caitlin. It's not just Angel. It's that the influx of new talent, the influx of skilled ball players who are playing at a different level, and we're going to talk about that in the All-Star game in just a moment, has really turned the WNBA's game into something great to the point to where for the first time, the WNBA All-Star Game in Phoenix this past weekend was sold out.
And the image has changed. Don't forget that.
Don't go there right now.
That's a whole nother show.
I'm
just saying.
You know what?
Not right now.
Don't you do it, Bishop. Don't you do it. You should have told me. I could have set my keyboard up. I could have set it up. Y'all
Don't touch it, Bishop. Leave it alone.
I'm just going to say this.
Leave it alone.
Don't you do it.
Every game, before the game, every WNBA game, there's a fashion show.
Well, listen, and that's one of the things that has changed because you didn't see that in previous years.
That's all I'm saying.
Now you are really, truly, and I gotta go there.
That's all I'm saying,
I don't want anybody to be offended, but I am enjoying looking on X and seeing pregame as just like in on the men's side, as when players are walking the tunnel. Now, when the ladies are walking the tunnel, we're checking to see what they're wearing.
They doing the spin.
Now, some of these outfits, I'm like, what is that? But I say that on the men's side too.
Listen, we've seen Russell Westbrook.
Right. We've seen Tyrese Halliburton.
Right. We've seen Tyrese Halliburton walk into an arena.
Y'all really getting that Tyrese.
What's his teammate? Miles Turner.
Oh, we're going to go there with Mrs. Turner, with Miss Turner.
Nah, Miles Turner. Man, did you say Miss
Turner?
He called him Miss Turner, George. He called him Miss Turner.
You said big wheels keep on turning?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That Proud Mary. Come on, man. Woo! Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
Y'all left a good job in the city.
It's my inner Davy Wright. I'm sorry.
The views
working for the man every night and day. And I never lost 1 minute of sleep.
The views expressed by certain hosts
thinking about the way things about
those of the Church Guy Sports Show brand.
Big wheels keep on turning.
We assume no responsibility.
That was my inner Pastor David Wright right there.
Loose here.
Yo, all I can think about is that picture of him with the scarf wrapped around his head.
Yo, Miles Turner. Yo, anyway. So, but
man,
back to the point.
Way.
Yes, it's okay.
It's okay. All right, I'm sorry.
Eat the cake, anime. Okay, all right.
Anime
Bullock.
It's all right.
Y'all didn't know Anime Bullock is you don't even know her name was really Anime Bullock.
Anime.
All right. But it has been refreshing to see that on the women's side. And not for nothing, because I've said it before, and Keisha agrees with me. I know she does as a hetero female baller herself. It's been great to see the femininity of these women shining through on a different level.
And it has changed the perception of the league. It has changed and has drawn more eyeballs to the set.
Listen, the biggest thing that happened at Summer League this year, the men's Summer League, was Angel Reese.
We gonna go there? Go there?
Who just happened to be there to play against Vegas. She was in town for a game. She went to the Summer League wearing Daisy Dukes, and these folks, she went viral.
Did y'all pray for Sam?
Did y'all pray for Sam Cassell? The press crying and stuff.
I looked at Sam Cassell. I said, look at Sam Cassell looking like a dirty old man.
I sent it to Key. I said, Key, I said, your girl is breaking the internet. She was like, what she do? Click. I sent it to her. She didn't have any idea. I said, your girl done broke the internet.
Yo.
But this is the one I want everybody to respect me.
No, don't do that. First of all, it's 110 degrees in July in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, so we wear booty shorts. Okay, great. Then I'm gonna do it.
Okay, go for it. Now,
exactly.
No.
Look, okay.
Maybe she doesn't have an older brother like you do.
Too many of them.
Who will grab you and go, what you doing?
You saw I just went off the camera.
Right. Now, you posted a picture in the gym. What I text you like, Keisha.
You sure did.
What are you doing?
You see how they air out my stuff, George?
All she had was her belly out. And I was like, no, we're not doing this. No.
And then they be in her inbox.
You see that?
And you be and then you gonna tell us. and you're gonna want us to handle it.
Well,
George is like, they ain't wrong. He understands.
Let me get a
Anyway,
drink of water. He said, I thirst.
So,
we correct who we love. Love is also correction. You see
yeah,
that?
they correct and they beat up too.
absolutely true.
Don't let them fool you.
I lay hands in the name of Jesus, and I lay hands in the name of fighting.
Yeah, the Brownsville, all of it will come out real quick. Okay.
Listen, Brownsville never ran, never will.
Yeah. Listen, man. I'm happy for the ladies. Listen, I think they have a chance for the first time to finish in the black in the history of this league.
Yeah,
I think they're going to.
That's
awesome.
I
mean, the TV deal has pretty much solidified that.
Yeah.
TV deal by itself has solidified it, and it's going to be.
I still have my qualms though.
Okay, what you got?
There's some things that they need to do.
Okay.
Most importantly, and the thing that bothered me about them, and this was last year, I remember one of their finals games was on a Sunday afternoon, and their finals is in October. Sundays are for football. Like, you can't schedule, and it was like the afternoon. Like, you can't schedule your game for that. If you want to expand this brand, you move that day over to not even Monday because of Monday Night Football.
You play either on Saturday night or you play on Tuesday.
Right.
College football is on Saturday.
Avoid the NFL.
But if you play Saturday night, you might be okay. You don't play Saturday afternoon.
In October, right.
Yeah, I agree. Because remember, Bishop, I was talking about how I wanted to go to the games before, but I couldn't because the timing of the games was like during the day. It was like 12 o'clock.
Right, you got a 3 o'clock
you gotta
game
work
in the middle of the day
in
on
the
a
middle
Tuesday
of the day.
afternoon. Like,
yeah.
And trying to find the games sometimes. Sometimes it's hard to find the games.
It's Butler.
Sometimes you can't find the games.
It got to be.
We welcome in Pastor David Wright.
Oh, no. We're moving the topic over. Change the topic.
No, we here now. Change
the topic.
Stay safe, man of God. Stay safe.
Please change the topic. Please.
Stay safe. You see nothing.
So, Dave, we talking about how the women's game has changed and how they will more than likely finally turn a profit this year. And we talked about Angel Reese breaking the internet at the Summer League last week with her booty shorts at the Thomas and Mack Center. As Sam Cassell looking like an old dirty pervert.
And Jaylen Brown was about to risk it all with his girlfriend right there.
Jaylen Brown was holding his girlfriend's hand looking.
Yes.
It sure was.
That's why I said he was about to risk it all.
Yes, she absolutely is.
She's bad.
And she's one of Angel's best friends. He was trying to probably hook something up. Let me shut up. Anyway, I'm about. David's spirit is jumping.
Do not give Davey the floor.
We have to give it to him.
I want the floor. Well, I've been saying this. I've been saying this for the last few years that nobody wants to take their little daughter to a basketball game. A 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old girl to a women's basketball game, and they looking at a bunch of women that want to be men.
Oh my God!
They looking at a bunch of women.
See, y'all thought I was bad.
Oh, I got to say it. They looking at a bunch of women that want to be men and are dressed like men, got their hair cut like men, kissing each other on the court, bullying other women that are not gay. So it makes it seem like that's why there was no profit. At this rate that they were going, the WNBA would have been out of business by next year. They already got enough. They had to do all of these different things with the sponsors. You can't even see the name of the jerseys after a while. It said Goodyear. It had everything on the jersey. Goodyear, Midas, Pep Boys, all kinds of stuff. So finally,
he's done.
Who is?
So finally, And that is part of why they're pushing Caitlyn, because Caitlyn is a baller. She is a baller. We ain't gonna take that from her, but she's a baller. Plus, she's heterosexual, and even if she was lesbian, she's not putting her lesbianism on Front Street.
Right. She's feminine presenting. I mean, and not that that matters. And I want to go on record again, because I say it every time we come up with the subject. That's your business. I don't care. However, from a business standpoint, if you want to grow your game, you've got to go with what sells. And quite honestly, masculine presenting women in sports don't sell tickets.
Bishop, what did I send you today?
You sent me what you call it? What was it again? What did you send me?
So I was watching the U.S. team, girls team.
Yes.
I was watching.
They going back to the old. They want to go back to the old unis, the throwbacks.
So I was watching the U.S. team, and I was watching how back then, when you had John Stanley, when you had Lisa Leslie, you had all those girls back then, right?
Rebecca Lobo, yeah.
Rebecca Lobos, all those girls, right? And they talked about how when they was doing the photo shoot for the Sports Illustrated magazine, they did it with their uniforms, right? But the individual pics, they told the girls, they was like, wouldn't you like to wear something like this? It brings out your eyes. Or wouldn't you like to wear a shirt like this? And Lisa Leslie said they made it known, not to be disrespectful, and it kind of reminds me of what they're doing with Caitlin Clark. They made it known that is what they want to present. That is what the image that they wanted. They will tell the girls, even so they had some of the girls even mentioned and said that they couldn't come out and say that they liked girls at the time. They had to hold off on it. They was not able to say that this is
Cheryl
what
Swoops,
their preference.
she had to hold back. Cheryl.
She had
and
to
I'm gonna
hold.
tell you another thing. But that Brittany Griner, they tried to make her the face of the WNBA.
That didn't work.
Oh no, we got to say it. She said because she just got somebody pregnant.
She didn't get nobody pregnant.
Well, that's what she said.
Right,
she said she's a pop.
She didn't get nobody pregnant.
Brittany Griner got a prostate. She has a prostate, and if she has a prostate, she needs to be in the NBA.
Davey.
So,
Can you?
WNBA All-Star Game presented to us the United States women's team in a tune-up match against the voted-in WNBA All-Stars by the fans. And we saw a very spirited game. So,
Did he say prostrate? Never mind. Just go ahead, D-Lo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, D-Lo.
D-Lo, you're supposed to put info
I'm
on
trying.
mute.
I'm trying.
You.
I can't mute Davey because Davey is one of the founders of this broadcast. The whole church guys thing is Davey's, so I can't ever mute him. But I have to step in and redirect the conversation.
I knew it. I just
Man.
knew it. I knew it.
Now,
Man, you came in hot, Dave.
he did.
My God.
He came in hot tonight. He absolutely came in hot tonight. So we saw a spirited contest between the United States women's national team versus the WNBA All-Stars who were voted in by the fans. We saw the WNBA All-Stars for the second time beat the United States women's team in what was a very competitive basketball game. For those of you who watched it, what can we take away from the women's game that maybe Adam Silver and the men's side can take away in order to make the NBA All-Star Game watchable again?
Competitive? How about they was personal? That was a real
It was
game.
competitive.
That was a real
It was
game.
a basketball game.
That was a real game. Them girls was balling.
And they were waiting for that
think I have
thing
an
to
opposite
the Angel Reese pass. They was waiting for that.
That was
I
classic.
think I have an opposite opinion about this.
Okay. What you got, George?
I love the fact that the WNBA girls beat Team USA, because I hate the archaic way that there's a way about the people that are in charge. They have certain people. They have certain like representatives that go out for them, like Andrea Carter, Rebecca Lobo, Chiney Amumike. I remember the game started, and y'all tell me if I'm lying. Rebecca Lobo said competitive about 10 times in the first 3 minutes of the game. Am I lying?
No, she
I
did.
didn't hear it.
She did. I watched the game.
It was just like you're just trying to like. I'm like, we get it. You really feel like this is what it is. Like I didn't like the fact that the young girl won the All-Star Game award and the USA team, nobody's clapping. They upset. Like at the end of the day, it's an exhibition game. It's a celebration for the daggone fans. I don't want to watch y'all trying to run plays for the Olympics at the All-Star game. Like I don't want to see that. I don't. And then you hide that under the veil of competitiveness. And I've said this to my friends, and we're in the NBA sports group. I don't want to see Diana Taurasi on no team at 42 years old taking up a roster spot. Sis,
I agree.
Go
I think
sit
so.
on.
I think
Go
Diana
sit
Taurasi,
on, man. Are you kidding me? You've been playing since '86.
This is what
You bringing out the Jamaican
Olympic
accent?
team. Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, yes, I did. Because when I get aggravated, it comes out. I'm sorry. When I get aggravated, it comes out. Because it's like, yo, what are you doing here still?
This
Like,
is
go
Taurasi's
sit down.
This is like her 5th or 6th Olympic team.
Yeah.
But when she
She's
lost
worse
that
than
game, you
Sue
could tell
Bird
she took
was.
the personal. She took
Oh
it
yeah,
personal.
did you see the post game huddle she had with the team?
She took it very
She let them
personal.
have it.
That's what I'm saying. It's an all-star game. Do that at practice.
Took it
Like
personal.
the girl is winning
I was cracking up.
And I get everybody's concerned with the men's NBA All-Star game. I get that it's not competitive. I really feel like if they went back to that Kobe format of like 24 points in the fourth quarter, like reaching, I think that would add to it. But I'm not mad at the All-Star game, them having fun, because at the end of the day, it's an exhibition. It don't count. So unless they do like baseball and giving out like home field advantage, it'll never be something that. Oh, they stopped doing that. Oh, I didn't know. I gave up on baseball. Oh, wow. But like, yeah, unless there's some competitive advantage that's attached to it, I'm personally okay with the All-Star game just being them boys out there jekyling and just having a good time, not getting hurt, go rest up for the week and go finish the season. That's just me.
Then they should do what the NFL does. The NFL doesn't even play a game anymore.
They went to flag football.
Oh, let's not go that far.
but I'm saying
again, not to compare eras again, because it wasn't even just the 90s, but even into the early 2000s, the NBA All-Star Game was competitive. It is only changed.
The NBA All-Star Game was the best All-Star game ever.
Yeah, it has only changed in the last several years. Because they joshed around for 3 quarters. The game was close, but in the fourth quarter, it became a bragging rights thing. It was an ego thing. So like I watched the clip today of Stephon Marbury and Kobe going at it at the Garden.
It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
Steph was coming down and pulling up from 3 with no conscience. And the East ended up winning that game. He and Allen Iverson willed the East back to that win after they were like 15 points down going into the fourth. Even down to early in LeBron's career, one of Kobe's last All-Star games, where it came down to the final shot, and Kobe was guarding LeBron every possession and blocked the shot.
And blocked the shot. And then that last time, Bron actually passed the ball. Kobe looked at him like, "You passed it?
Why you
crazy?
Why you pass it?"
Like,
you know what? I'm gonna get Keisha Carter mad. I blame LeBron James for the uncompetitiveness of the All-Star game because people
get her mad.
People went from the ball players went from wanting to beat each other to wanting to play with each other. So that competitive nature is gone. Everybody they talk about teaming up. So now they don't have that. See, back then, Jordan wanted to beat everybody. He ain't want to recruit nobody. The All-Star Game is a recruiting game now. They want to recruit who they want to play with. And LeBron James did this.
Ooh, David came in hot today, bro.
Okay.
David's in
Now,
hot today.
I'm going to agree in part. I'm going to agree in part. LeBron James is part of the reason why these guys are doing this. Not because of everybody's teaming up. I believe now these guys are individual corporations now.
Yes.
So now they're literally companies on 2 feet. So like they're sponsored by whoever. So it's not important for them to do this particular thing when they're subject. It's important for them to be there and show up to different parties and sponsorships or whatever, because you can't even see, like I was saying the other day, you can't even see you can't see the court. All the sponsors are on the court. You can't see the jerseys. All the sponsors are all over the jersey. It's a money thing now. It's a money thing now. So
I would agree to that. I'll go there
so
and say
I
that.
won't blame LeBron for that. But I'm not the team up thing, man. Hey, work smarter, not harder. I don't know.
James.
Yeah, she been waving this flag all night, man.
Ain't he the flag bearer? They let him. He's never been the flag bearer for the USA team.
No NBA player has ever been a flag bearer.
The first male NBA player to do that.
Muhammad Ali did it one time. Almost burnt the whole place down.
Hey man, what you doing?
That was the torch bearer.
Oh, okay. He almost burnt Atlanta to smithereens. Barcelona, wherever it was.
It was Atlanta.
It was Atlanta.
Not smithereens, bro.
Oh. Listen, this has been an amazing show. We appreciate you. David Wright.
We didn't get no talk on WWE.
We didn't even get to the rest of it tonight.
We man. Next show with the WWE.
Every time.
I was looking forward to that.
I was looking forward to it too, but we'll start off the next show. George, if you can, come back in 2 weeks.
Okay.
We are not going to have a show this coming Tuesday, as some of our hosts will be on vacation. I'm not going to tell it business like other people want to tell it, but some of our hosts will be on vacation, and we give you a break. We've given you 9 straight episodes. We've been going at it hard, literally since the NBA playoffs.
It hard.
This will be our first break since the NBA playoffs. So there'll be no live show next week. That'll give you a great chance, if you haven't already, download the podcast. Available on Spotify, available on iHeartRadio, available on Apple Podcasts. So
Keisha.
It'll give you the opportunity to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like a Church Guy Sports Show on Facebook. Also, not just our show. George, tell people where they can find you.
You think they're gonna use some of the money that Jalen Brunson gave back to give Julius Randle new ACLs?
Julius Randle's ACLs are not a problem. What are we talking about here?
I'm just saying.
Julius Randle have no ACL problems.
They're gonna use that money to re-sign him, though. They are gonna do that.
George, tell the people where to find you so we can end the show.
You can reach me at. I had to mess with a little bit. You got to reach me at George Smith everywhere. Hello, Beautiful People podcast, available on all podcast platforms. The 150 Sports Talk Show is only on Apple and Spotify. Thank you guys for having me, yo. This was
George,
a blast.
Thank you for coming and
thank you for coming on, man.
Hanging out with us.
Davey, real quick, how did Muhammad Ali have that torch again?
Listen,
no,
not
tonight. Not tonight.
I gotta walk the street down.
He almost burned down Atlanta to smithereens.
J-Mac lives in Atlanta. Y'all can't do this.
Listen,
J-Mac lives in Atlanta. He has to walk
my brother city. My brother lives in Atlanta too.
I gotta walk the street down here, man.
Y'all cut that out. But join us in 2 weeks. That is so we'll be back on. No show next week. We will be back on the 6th of August. That will be right after SummerSlam. So we're kicking off that show with the SummerSlam recap. So George, if you're not busy, come back.
You like that new song? You like the new song? We had to get rid of the
Keisha.
Yeah, the song at the top of the show is fire. I like that, John. Wait, what's up with the old song?
Shout outs to Kaya. Shout outs to Kaya, an amazing artist out of Queens, New York, who gave us that song. We appreciate you, Kaya. Continue to do great things. George, don't get Keisha started because
she has me.
We had no.
I'll go back in the archive and find the old song.
The old song wasn't bad, but the old song was donated to us by one of our friends and brothers who thought it enough that he had
we
to remind
didn't
us
ask for the old song. We didn't beg nobody for that old song.
It was a free will offering.
It was a free will offering.
So
The Kaya one is a free will offering. Like I asked her, she said yes. Like she was just gracious. And
people actually know that song.
We thought oh wow.
Oh Lord.
Oh wow.
Oh Jesus.
Okay. This is fun.
Y'all pray for me. I'll be on vacay. Good night, everyone. Y'all pray for me as I travel.
Yeah, traveling mercies for Bishop J.
Traveling mercies.
We are back on the 6th.
Me and the wife, we're going away.
Yes, they're going away for a little while. Get some R&R. We're going without the kids.
Right.
Y'all going without the kids, I hope.
Not this first one. The first one.
The first one is with the kids. The first one is take the kids on vacation. The second one is recover from the kids. Got it.
There you go.
Got to have a vacay from the vacay.
Right. From the family vacay.
There you go.
We all know, those of us with families and kids, we know that vacays with the kids are always
work.
Yeah, that's a job. So we'll be praying for you and for your traveling mercies, and we're back on the 6th, ready to do this again. Ooh, Lord, y'all just be starting trouble in here. Until then, again, thank you, George. We look to see y'all again in a couple weeks. We appreciate you. We'll be back on. George is coming back on the 6th. He'll be back with us on the 6th.
Add me, Keisha. We can talk about LeBron.
Y'all can talk about LeBron and each other. Yeah,
I gotta get you out of Miami. I gotta get you out of Miami, though. I gotta get you out of Miami.
She's already out of Miami. She's a Knick fan, right?
She's a Knick fan.
She's already out of Miami. She's a Knick fan, and that's all there is.
She's still associated with. Get out of Miami.
She's a Knick fan. That's it. That's all there is to it. She's a Knick.
We definitely got to get you out of there.
Change the logo. What?
Mm-hmm. It keeps saying church guys. I don't know what's going on over there.
Well, that's Butler. He does the graphic arts. I just handle video packaging and producing the show.
Oh, okay.
So that's who you have to yell at about the logo itself.
Okay.
You got to yell at Butler. But thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. We will see y'all in 2 weeks. Until then, always remember that church folks love sports too. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yo, this is a state of emergency. Check. I need all my Knick fans right now to grab your jerseys, your popcorn, your sodas, whatever you gotta do to get ready for this game. I don't care if you're a cheerleader, an athlete, a couch potato. We're here to restore the field. Matter of fact, how do you say it from New York? What I say from New York? Hey, yo, let's go now.
Hey, yo, I bring that New York energy. Talking 42nd Street, alley hoop finger roll. Ain't nobody checking me. Crossover through the legs, step back, hit a 3. Still up in the hood, but got big baller tendencies. She just trying to get flued out to John Kennedy, just to see the Knicks play, make a couple memories. New York, if you ain't from here, don't pretend to be. And if you ain't rocking with the Knicks, you an enemy. Yeah, look at us, whole city is wild. This is New York, why y'all ever counted us out? Any game we attend, yeah, we taking it now. Fast break on the court, all up and down. Lead a garden in the pigsty, yeah, we get it on this side. Bacon, egg, and cheese, or the lobster mac with the ribeye. Either way, we winning the overtime if we get tired. Get it with the team, yeah, that's just something we live by. Hey, yo, first quarter in, we gon' turn it up. Gotta warm up first, then we taking it dub. By the third quarter in, no, they ain't catching up. Gotta stay in the lead before that shot clock buzz. If the Knicks get a win, we gon' do it again. Make the finals once before, we gon' do it again. Bounce back in the fourth, we gon' do it again. It's been a while since the chip, but we gon' do it again. Yeah.
Yo, put your hands up. If you rockin' with the Knicks, put your hands up. Yo, put your hands up. If you from New York, put your hands up. Yo, look, put your hands up. If you rockin' with the Knicks, put your hands up. Look, put your hands up. Hey, yo, New York City, put your hands up. Tell your baby.